Thanks for joining me today as I share with you this really quite unique vintage Monadnock baton. I apologize for the road noise. It's a little noisy out here today. I recently acquired this as I was going through my late brother-in-law's storage unit, and he had all kinds of interesting things that he's collected over the years, and this just happened to be one of them. I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. It's a straight baton and a very unusual color. I've only ever seen these in black. I'm not exactly sure where he managed to pick this up, but the original Monadnock Baton Company was from Fitzwilliam, New Hampshire, and he lived close to that area, so he may very well have gotten this maybe from the estate of a retired policeman or something. Don't know, and I don't happen to ask. I just found it very interesting, so I had to add this one to my collection. Monadnock has been around since the late 50s, and they've made many different types of police batons, including the famous PR-24 side handle baton, which was pretty much standard issue for all law enforcement officers in the 80s and 90s. Eventually, it's been replaced by expandable batons because they're easier to carry. But the PR-24 is still pretty iconic. But looking at this baton is very interesting. It's a straight baton, and on the grip end there's this hard metal ball. This I don't believe would have been used for striking. Such a small surface area, you could create some serious damage with that small metal ball. So I'm thinking it was probably meant for maybe breaking out car windows, or it could also be used if you get into a very close, like a clinch situation with your subject, and you don't have the room to swing the baton. You could dig that small metal ball into some pretty tender areas. If it was me, I'd probably be looking for maybe the brachial plexus just above the collarbone. It wouldn't take much pressure on there to get somebody's attention, that's for sure. For many years, police carried wooden straight batons like this. This is probably made out of hickory. It's very light. You can definitely generate some real speed with a light baton like this, but it doesn't have a lot of impact force because of its light weight. I've got this strike pad set up against a pretty heavy chunk of firewood, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a good whack and see if I can make any impact on the wood behind the strike pad. That was a pretty sturdy strike. I don't think I'd want to get too many of those. Eventually those were replaced by these side handle PR-24s. These ones you would hold by the side handle, pull it in, and swing it like that in a circular motion. I trained with these back in the early 90s. I took the Monadnock PR-24 course, and I think a lot of us officers found them rather complicated, and a lot of people really never got the hang of generating a lot of speed with the swing. We'll see how I can do. One thing you notice with these side handle batons is when they make contact, they tend to rebound off of the target. Sometimes that can make it available for a second strike if you need to. Now let's compare it with this rather unusual straight baton, also from Monadnock. It comes with this thong, and if I give this a couple of wraps around, it should help me to hang on to it better. The grip is quite slippery, and without that thong, it might end up sailing across the yard. It hits with a lot of force, quite a bit more than the PR24, which was supposed to be an improvement over the straight batons. I've got an interesting target here. I'm going to try to strike with this baton. My last review that I did was with the Stinger Fist to Whip Mini, and that had no problem exploding one of these soda cans. We'll see if I can generate enough speed to be able to blow this up. Dented, but it did not explode. I'll try one more time. There we go. That did it. I'm really enjoying having this as a part of my baton collection, and now I'm totally covered with tonic water as the can exploded. Again, thanks for joining me as I reviewed this rather interesting old baton.